And welcome back to the drawing board. I'm Mark Saxon. Thank you for joining me for yet another week, and I apologize. It has been a few weeks since I have been on. A lot of shit going on, work, this, that. Insert excuse here. I have plenty of them, but nonetheless, I am here. I apologize though for missing the last few weeks and some important sports dates. But cheers to the Friday night beers. Mm. Yeah, that was needed. Let's get started. I want to talk about the NFL not taking Bill Belichick as a first round ballot Hall of Famer. Um, or first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't understand. First of all, let me start off by saying I absolutely hated the Patriots during that era. I hated Tom Brady. I hated Bill Belichick. I hated the Spygate, the Deflategate, and any other excuse you think will work for him not getting the Hall of Fame. I hated him for all those things. Nonetheless, he won seven, was a part of nine, I believe, as a coordinator or helping on that staff, but a part of nine Super Bowl wins. I don't think there's ever been a guy to do that. And everybody's like, well, everything he did after Brady left. Well, not only Brady just left, right? Like a lot of people left, and he had a whole new team, and the Patriots did get old. So that being said, Tom Brady still went on to win a Super Bowl with the Bucks, but the Bucks had a Super Bowl caliber team. You'd have put him on the Jets like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it happening. So it does not make sense to me that this guy did not make the Hall of Fame. I think the writers and the voters were just jealous that they don't have a 24-year-old fiance that they can come home to personally. This is America, damn it. What are we doing? Shame on you, and shame on you if you don't think you should be in. Like I said, I did not like that era. I hated the Patriots and everything that they stood for. But you can't deny a guy like that the Hall of Fame. It just, I mean, because here's the thing: you deny him the Hall of Fame. So what are you gonna do? So what's the standard then? Like I said, a part of nine Super Bowl wins, definitely winning seven all on his own, being the GM, creating those teams, creating that entire dynasty. So I just, what's the standard then if he's not that? I mean, like now, what do you fall back on, right? If you're the Patriot, or I mean, I'm sorry, if you're the league and you vote a guy like this, no, so who does get in? And it pisses me off that they're making me stick up for the Patriots back in those days. Pisses me off that they're making me defend a Bill Belichick. But like, so what's the standard? Because those are pretty fucking high standards. So, like I said, it doesn't make sense to me. But I digress. We'll drink a beer to this. Let's talk about because no one gives a shit about the Pro Bowl anymore. I think it's a joke. If you do like watching it, I would assume that you're 13 years old and just love watching your favorite players run around and do something. Because the Pro Bowl is a joke now. Super Bowl doing the Patriots and the Seahawks. Now the Patriots and the Broncos, weather had a play in it, and I know people will say, well, weather shouldn't affect games. I disagree wholeheartedly. Denver was at home, knows that weather very well. So it doesn't make sense to me on how really you can not use it as an excuse, but try, as a defense, I guess. Still a trash game, 10-7, a lot of missed field goals, some turnovers. No, really great plays, if you will. The Patriots, to me, everybody's going to say, well, look at their schedule. Look what they've done. They haven't really beat anybody, and they squeak by. And although I understand those arguments, I don't technically agree with them because, hey, listen, you play who's on your schedule. You play the hand you were dealt, period. Um, my biggest thing is I haven't really seen a whole lot of offense from them in high intense games, in important situations in those games. Haven't seen a whole lot of offense. So I'm taking the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks beat the absolute dog shit out of them. And now here's the thing. Everybody's going to argue, well, what about that defense? Yes, they have a good defense, but if they're on the field all damn night, they ain't going to do shit. They're going to get tired. They are human beings. They are normal men on the other side of that ball. And if you keep pounding the fucking ball down their throat, eventually they're going to give in and they're going to give up a lot of points. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm taking the Seahawks and another NFC Super Bowl winner. Let's move it on. UFC. And listen, I had to recover last weekend from such a disappointment. Huge Patty the Batty fan. Let's go right. Well, no, I won't jump right into it, but yeah, huge Patty the Batty fan. And some disappointments as of last weekend. Great card, great entertainment. There was a few I was disappointed in. Um, let's pick it up at Nikita Krylov doing his thing against Bukaskis, and Krylov just proving once again, like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying he's due for like a title shot or anything crazy, but respect, getting the TKO. I think that was huge. Just doing his thing, being violent. Obviously, Nurmagomedov and Figueiredo. I can't believe that that went to decision. Obviously, he did win the fight, but I really thought for sure he would get the submission. Moving on to John Silva and Arnold Allen. A whole new respect for Arnold Allen. He hung in there, did his thing. Obviously, he got beat, but he's coming up. I mean, 20-4. Obviously, he's established himself. Don't get me wrong by any means, but taking on John Silva and being able to hang in there after getting bullied for that long, and then Natalia Silva taking on Thug Rose, absolutely owning that fight. Saw a lot of, I guess, back and forth arguments where they thought Thug Rose won the fight. Don't get me wrong, my heart was with Thug Rose. I voted for Thug Rose to win. I wanted her to win, but in no way did she win. I think Silva denied damn near every one of the takedowns, maybe minus two. Bullied her, was able to manhandle her as needed, and just was able to rack up those points. So I mean, hats off to Silva. This is probably the biggest disappointment, tied with Patty, Derek Lewis, and Waldo Cortez Acosta. Wow. Derek Lewis went down almost like he like blew his knee. Kind of just didn't seem like he was in the fight from jump. Um, went into round two and just got knocked out, just kind of just went to the fetal position. Derek Lewis was absolutely on a tear as of late, and then did one of these. I don't want to take any credit away from Waldo Cortez Acosta, because he went in there, he did his thing. Obviously, he won the fight. But damn it, dude, Lewis, in my opinion, before this fight, deserved a shot at the title. Um, and then he falls, just a little stinker, in my opinion, and just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if he got I've yet to be able to read anything saying, anything about his knees or an ankle or something coming. He went down like a sack of potatoes. It was ugly to watch. I hate to say that. I'm a huge Derek Lewis fan. Lost a lot of money that night. So thank you, Derek. Appreciate you. Sugar Sean getting back in there. Super stoked about that. No, he didn't win by any crazy knockout over Song Yadong. But here's the thing: Song Yadong being a great fighter, very aggressive. Sugar Sean being able to go in, manage the fight as he saw fit. Uh, got a couple of good elbows in there, a couple of good shots, a couple of good knees. Was able to put the forehead. Um, Sugar Sean, I think this was a big bounce back fight for him. Love to see it. I know he himself was talking on different podcasts and on his own mainstream media that hey, he's like, dude, I'm not, I'm a fucking co-main event, like not even that guy anymore. So I think this is a good light to shine on him. And excited to see what he can do from here. Still a big Sugar Sean fan. And here was the fight main event of the night. and they bring him a huge Justin Gaethje fan, huge Patty fan. Hate that they had to fight each other. Wanted Patty to win. I'm a big Patty fan than I am a Justin Gaethje fan. But Justin Gaethje came out aggressive, exactly how he needed to. Got plenty of good blows. Even Patty said, the one to the solar flex really fucked him up. He really, I mean, he didn't stop it, and he kept don't get knocked out. And, in there, a lot of people, and even me, I'll admit it, that night was like, Patty should have won. But no, they made the right call. Patty was more on the defensive all night. I think he won 2 of the 5 rounds, and he should have been more aggressive, in my opinion. Thankfully so, trying to be cautious. Obviously, that uppercut connected a couple of times from Gaethje. Gaethje, doing what he does, right? I mean, just fucking cinder blocks in those hands and just being a fucking monster. So, loved it, but hated it and hated to love it. Uh, Respect. A lot of people are saying that's why Patty shouldn't belong up there. I completely and wholeheartedly disagree. Patty missed it by a couple of rounds, in my opinion. Um, should have been aggressive in areas. Was obviously being cautious for the right reasons. And I honestly, I just think Gaethje's game plan was better. That's what I think it boiled down to. I don't think that this fight was won by leaps and bounds by any means, like some people are trying to say. But tip your cap to Gaethje, definitely deserving of the win. Happy for him. Happy to see him move forward. Hopefully, he can get that title shot once again, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, what's in store for Patty? I say give him Dan Hooker. Um, give him. I mean, Dan the Man Hooker would be a good one. I think, in all honesty, I think another one would be. I don't know if I want to see him fight Charlie Olives at this juncture of Charlie Olives' career. Although I think it would be entertaining. I don't think he deserves Lamont yet. Um, Another one I think good for the sport in general. Although I don't know what it would do with rankings is Max Holloway would and Patty would put on a fucking show. I think it'd be a war. So that would be exciting to watch. You know, I think those 2 fights. Anything beneath that, I think UFC would be failing. Anything above that, I don't think would be real. That makes sense. Now let's move it on to this weekend. Volk and Diego Lopez fighting for the title, and Volk holds it. So let's start off. There's a few good fights that I want to get into. This is a huge card. A lot of fighters. Junior Tafa's fighting. That's going to be fun. I expect him to put on a show against Billy Elicana. Um, Tuivasa's fighting against Teixeira. Teixeira losing to Derek Lewis his last fight. This one's going to be tough, but I think Teixeira is going to come in with a vengeance. Ruffy and Kazaya fighting. I'm going to give that to Marcio Ruffy. Dan the Man. I'm gonna give it to Dan Hooker. I think he's gonna become too much to handle for Saint Denis. And once again, these fights in Sydney, Australia, 7 p.m. Arizona time for the main card, 5 p.m. for the prelims, Arizona time. So wherever you are at, adjust accordingly. And then, of course, the main event, Volkanovs, Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. Man, I love watching Volk. I'm a huge fan of Volk. I'm a huge fan of Lopez. Um, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say that Lopez wins this time around, just because. But my heart's I'm rooting for Volk, and my heart's with Volk. So I'm gonna go on that. I'm gonna go on that branch, and that'll bring us to that. That is my take for this weekend. Plenty of other sports going on. Get into all of them. We're right around the corner from March Madness. Hockey's starting to heat up. Baseball is going to start up soon. Basketball getting ready to heat up as well. So stick around. I'm going to try to not make it this long for another visit. But once again, I'm Mark Saxton. This is Back to the Drawing Board. Thank you for joining me for yet another week. And folks, have a weekend. Drink some beers. Place them parlays down. We ain't trying to go to work on Monday. Let's have it. Let's get it.